Okay, guys, so now on to something super fun, and it's creating a dynamic wish list on your Divi site using Divi machine accounts. And you just have this icon, you can click it to wish list it, you can click it again to unwish list it. It's a really cool feature, and it just creates that extra level of engagement with people that visit the sites that you build. We need to do two things here. We are obviously going to have to work with this loop a little bit and just add the icon in. And then we're also going to be adding this endpoint on our Divi site. So without further ado, let's jump right to it and get here on the back end of my Divi install. And once here, we're going to first add the endpoint, and then we'll go change the loop, and then we'll go design that endpoint. So let's go ahead and just add your wish list. Or maybe, no, I'm just going to name that wish list. I think it's going to create a little bit of confusion with all those your. So we'll just do that, and we'll go ahead and publish this one. Awesome. Now we head over to Divi and then Theme Builder, and we're going to start working on that loop. So we are just going to edit the existing loop. And I am just going to go add a new module in the top row, and I'm just going to type wishlist, because remember that top row is for everything pertaining to the image, and then the bottom row is for the content. But of course, you can add this module anywhere you want to. So when I type in wish, we've got the wishlist module right here. I'll click on that and get that in there. I can go visual mode, and I can see that it's bumped up there, but we know that's not where it really is going to be. We'll stay in this mode while we're designing this out. Now you'll see a bunch of different options here, where you can select the save type. It's going to be saved. Or if you wanted to build a dislike list, you could do that as well. You select the choose save type. It's going to be wish list, of course. And then you can decide, do you want it to be a pop-up notification? And there's a bunch of settings here. We're not going to do that. We're just going to keep it fairly simple for this exercise. And now next, of course, we need to go to the add icon, and we can just go ahead and type in heart over here. And we will select the empty heart. And we will make that in white in color. That way it's going to show a little bit nicer on those images. And what we'll do is we'll add some drop shadow to these icons with just a tiny little bit of CSS to make sure that they show up nicely. But we'll do that in a little bit. We'll add an icon font size, and then we'll just make it 18 pixels. Why not? And also, just to be clear, this icon is the one when it's not been added to your list yet. So I think the outline makes sense. And then, of course, when we do in-list, it means that you have added it to your list. So you can go ahead and make that icon red or something like that. So we'll just type in heart again, and we'll select the filled in one this time. Let's go ahead and pick a nice red color. And I'm just going to go and drag this all the way up, FF and all zeros. I think that's going to be what we're going for, nice and bright red. And then we'll also use the 18 for that size. Now, the adding icon is that little animation. Let me show you. That happens. You see that swirl? That's what we're going to be changing there. So we'll come back here, and we'll find a nice adding icon. So if we scroll down, there we go. This is the icon that we used, and we'll just use the white color for that one as well. We'll use the same font size we had before, and then you can control the rotation speed if you wanted to. But that is basically the design of this icon. So let's quickly save, and I want to show you what happens on the front end. Always easier to kind of go back and forth a little bit, as you recall when we designed the loop initially. So here, let me just go to all classifieds. When I scroll down, of course, you can't see the icon because it's white, right? And that is because it's in the wrong position. We're going to move it up here to the top right section. So let's go do that. We'll open up the settings for the module. We'll go to design. And first thing we're going to do, we're going to right align it, because we want it to be all the way on the right over on this side. And then similar to how we did with this status, we're going to just assign an absolute position to it, and then just offset it from the edge a little bit. So let's go to the advanced tab, and then we'll go to position. We're going to set that to absolute. We'll select the top right, and then the offset will be 10 pixels and 10 pixels. And then remember, we want this to show always, so we're going to add those 4 nines in there, just so that it has a very high Z index over everything else on the page. Let's save that, and let's see what happened. Okay, refresh. Okay, cool. We've got our icon up there. Whoa, okay, well, that's a fun little animation. We're going to go fix that right now. Also, the important thing here is, of course, is that it works. So let's get back and go ahead and fix those two little issues. Just add a little bit more spacing here on the top and fix that animation. So what's happening here is that this icon over here is basically, it has full reign of the container it was in, because we added it right below the image, right? But we're repositioning it using absolute positioning. But what's happening is it still has the full width here. So when we're triggering that animation, it's circling around the full width. So all we need to do is constrain that little container or box that it's inside of to the same size as the font size. So hopping back here onto our loop layout, we'll just edit the module. We'll go to design, and in sizing, we're not going to say that it's 100%. We're going to say that it's 18 pixels for the sizing on that wish list icon. We can update that. And then here on the front end, I'll do a quick refresh. And let's see. There we go. That's working better. I just need to fix the color of the icon, I think. But that's working perfectly fine now. Cool. So let's just quickly make sure that we've got the right color for that transition. That is the explicitly white. Perfect. Save. Cool. Now, I also did say that we are going to adjust the positioning there a little bit, and I think it can go down and over a little bit. Let's make it 15 and 15, I think. So that is just, again, advanced position, and we can pump it up to 15 and 15 one more time, update, and go to the front end here and hit that reload. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I like that alignment more. Okay, now before I forget, let's go back and add that shadow to make these hearts a little bit more visible. You see, especially here when it's over that white, you cannot see it at all. So let's just jump back to our loop over here, and we're going to go and just add a little bit of custom CSS. So we'll go to advanced, custom CSS, and then we are going to add a filter, drop shadow, because then it's going to conform nicely to that little icon of ours. And, basically you can set the settings however you want. I just have it offset 0, 0, and then 0.2 pixels. And then the color is going to be basically black at 40% opacity. So I'm going to save that and update. And then let's just see if that was enough or whether we need to kind of modify it a little bit more. So coming over here, let's refresh. And then when I hover, okay, you can kind of see it there, but maybe we want to give it a little bit more spread there. So let's go back, open up our module, go to advanced, custom CSS, and again, on the main element is where we're putting this. Let's just make that a full pixel. Update, update. Okay, let's refresh one more time. Okay, that's looking good. So now you can see it no matter whether it is filled in or not. So that's just basically adding that shadow. So that's it. We have wishlist icons now. Now we need somewhere to display that, and we are going to do that right now by just going back to the accounts area here. Let me just refresh this page because my wishlist is not there. There we go. I'll just hit edit on that, and we'll use the Divi Builder. We'll clone an existing page because the wish list is really very similar to the other pages that we've created thus far. So we can go ahead and select any of our listing pages here. I'll just do the lost and found, use this layout, and we'll delete the one that it injects for us. And then we just need to go ahead and delete this second row because we won't be needing it. And we probably don't need to be creating a post, but I'm going to leave that in there just to prompt people to create, right? That's what we want them to do. Let's go visual mode, and then we'll say your wish list. That's going to be our header. You can add whatever text you want below there. And then we'll edit this loop, layout, the archive loop module. Yeah, we're still dealing with classifieds. We'll go down. This is still all those settings we have set up there, but here in general is going to be the big change. For this, I think we can go ahead and display, let's keep it at 6, as I think about it. And what we're going to do here is here where it's post display type. Now it's not just the current user's post, right? Because you can wish list any user's post. So we're going to select saved list machine account. And then you just choose your wishlist slug and you just go ahead and select that. And then you can go on put categories if you wanted to, whatever. We're not dealing with any of that, but we also need to just remove these search terms. So you can right click this and you can say reset loop options, include items, scroll down, but always easier to just manually unset these things so that there's not a bunch of junk in there messing things up. Now, because this list is potentially going to be longer, I know that for now it probably is in there that way. So I'm going to go to element options. And instead of having the button, I'm going to add infinite scroll because I just want to show you guys how cool this option also is. So there we go. We've got all that set up. Let's just save this, update. And now here we'll go to my account. We still need that link up here. So why don't we go ahead and do that? So yeah, I'll just jump back here. I'll go to my dashboard. And the way we do that, of course, is we just go to Appearance, Menus. And what we also actually need to do is for sale. Okay, we've got our categories set up perfectly. We'll just come down here to Custom Links. And we already know our slug for this is account, right? And then we'll just say my account here. We'll add it to the menu. And at the end is probably appropriate for that, so we'll save that. Now you can go ahead and add your wishlist slug and embed it underneath account if you wanted to. I'm not going to do that, but you're welcome and free to do whatever you wish. It's not going to have a major impact in the way that we do this. So I'm going to go back here to the front end. I'll refresh. And there we go. We've got my account. So let's go in there. And the wishlist has been added. So let's click on that. And here we go. We can see our wishlisted items very easily on the site. Let's quickly go and wishlist maybe one or two more things just so that we have that in there. So I'm going to go wishlist this house, I'll wishlist this car. And you can see that this is done all through Ajax, which is so awesome. And then we'll go back to my account. We'll click on wishlist. And then there you have it. We've got the car and we've got the Audi added in. And that's wishlist, guys. So easy to do, but such a powerful and great feature, as I said, to engage users on your site. So with that, we are now completely done with the machine accounts portion of this course. I hope you guys really enjoyed the content here. I really enjoyed creating it for you. Now, if you do have Divi Form Builder, definitely go on, because there we'll be creating some really awesome advanced forms to create and edit these posts. I think you guys will benefit greatly from that. Even if you don't have the Divi Form Builder plugin, definitely go check it out and see what's possible. Maybe you get some new ideas on how to even further deepen this classifieds website that we've built in the Divi Machine Classifieds course. I'll see some of you in the Divi Form Builder portion. And for some of you, you'll head on to the conclusion here where we have some final words for you guys. So thank you for being with us. I'll catch you guys in the next lesson or in the next course. Bye for now.